Hi, my name is Gavin with Restoration 1 of Clawson. Today I wanted to give a little backstory on my introduction into ownership of Restoration 1 of Clawson, kind of what we do and where I want to go in the future. So, like I said, I'm an owner of Restoration 1 of Clawson. We opened this location at the beginning of this year, and we've just been ramping things up, trying to do as many jobs as possible. I'll move on to my next slide here. So, getting into my story a little bit here, I've been doing restoration work for the past about 8 years. I started with my dad, pictured on the left there. I was his first technician basically, and I was only a teenager, so I wasn't going out in the field, so I was just helping him with things at the shop, learning the ropes and everything, and through time I became a technician and eventually now a manager and an owner. And the way that I kind of did that was through studying at Central Michigan University. I was in the marketing and entrepreneurship program, and I entered a competition there called the New Venture Challenge, and they had a category for startups, franchises, family businesses, that kind of thing, which I entered, not really knowing what the future might hold for my ownership with Restoration 1, but knowing my dad is the owner, and I kind of wanted to go that direction in life. So I entered this competition, pitched the business to a bunch of investors, and I actually won the Alternative Entrepreneurial Pathways category of the competition. So that was a great experience, huge check that I got from the school, and I actually was able to put that into buying our Restoration 1 of Clawson territory. So that's how I'm an owner today, and kind of my introduction into restoration. Started as a technician working with my dad, and through studying at Central Michigan and the New Venture Challenge, I'm now an owner here in Clawson. So what we do, we are 24/7 emergency services. We do both commercial and residential restoration, any size loss, small, big, large hotel buildings down to like a one bedroom apartment. Small loss, large loss, anything. We work with all insurance companies located here in Troy, Michigan, but we work all over the place. I've been as far as Mount Pleasant to do work. So, as long as it makes sense for everybody, we can get the job done anywhere. It doesn't really matter. More specific here on what type of restoration we do, we're talking flooding, mold, sewage, all those sorts of things. That's all within our wheelhouse. You see on the screen here, the far left, that's about 5 feet of water that went in someone's basement. Got some guys wearing PPE working on some mold, and a commercial job that we did there. Fire damage is also within our wheelhouse. From really extensive charred, burned up materials to just extensive cleaning. We can get all that done. And then biohazard cleanup, just a warning there, if you have a weak stomach, we can pick up things like blood, biohazardous materials, like feces, things like picking up needles, that sorts of thing. We can get those sorts of things done for whoever needs it, in commercial, residential. Here's an example of a flood that happened in Metro Detroit, and the flood water sat for so long that mold grew extensively in this basement. So here's kind of a before look, before we start any of our work. Tons of materials just sitting there wet, and mold is all around this outer area. You'll see all around here. So pretty extensive damage, and I'll give you the after picture here. That's what it looks like after. So a big difference. We're removing all the materials and doing an extensive cleaning, and this isn't actually the complete end of the project, but majority of the way through it. And another example here, this is upstairs, same house, so same issue. Mold was in the air throughout the whole house, so everything is contaminated. Mold spores sit kind of like dust over any items in the room, materials, so we have to remove everything and do an extensive cleaning. So that's what it looks like after. And yeah, so we are veteran owned and operated, ICRC certified, so very heavy attention to detail. Like I said before, 24/7 emergency service, over 8 years of experience in the industry. We've been doing this for a long time. We've been in the field on a lot of jobs, so there isn't a lot that we haven't seen. There's not a lot of problems that we can't get solved in some way, shape, or form. And our documentation, like you kind of saw through this presentation, we use the best of the best, state-of-the-art documentation we can. 360-degree cameras to get scans of your house. That's kind of how I got. That's where these pictures came from. Are from 360 scans that I did, and everything is documented so that at the end there's a full report and everything is out there on the table. Nothing is not documented, hidden behind the workspace, whatever.